Hello guys, today's tutorial is about how to use the Mass Planner Follow tool. The Follow tool is available for Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, and Instagram. Most of them have the same look and feel, so we're not going to go through them one by one. Instead, we're just going to pick one. So you just click on the marker under Follow, and then it will bring you to the Follow tab. Here you will see three sub-tabs. You have Settings, Follow Sources, and then Results. Under Settings, you will see the options for wait between a certain number of minutes before each new operation, follow between a random number of people per operation. You have the option to set the maximum number of people you want to follow per day. You may set this to 0 for no limit, or you may indicate a certain number here. You have Stop the tool for a certain number of minutes, and then a certain number of follows, and the follow between timers. You will see several other options like user has profile image. If you enable this, it will only follow users who have uploaded a profile image for their account. If you want to follow a user based on the number of their posts, you can enable this option and indicate the number of posts. You can also follow a user who has a minimum number of characters in their bio. So you just have to enable this and indicate the number of characters. Now, if you want to avoid users who have included invalid words in their bio, username or name, you can enable this option and then just indicate the invalid words that you want to avoid. Next, you may choose to follow users with a certain number of followers or following, so you just enable this option, indicate the number here. Then you have user posted within the last day. So if you want to follow a user who has posted within the last 5 days, you can just put in the number 5 here or whatever number that you want. Next, do not follow private users. Pretty straightforward. You may like the latest post or comment on the latest post of the users that you have just followed. If you want to do that, just enable this option. Then you can indicate the number of likes between random numbers, and you may also input your comment in the text box. Then you have days of the week when to operate. If you want the tool not to operate on certain days, you can just unselect the days. Like for example, if you don't want it to operate on a Sunday and on a Friday, you just unselect those days. If you're okay with your settings, you may now move on to the Follow Sources tab. On this page, you can specify your follow sources. Like for example, you have follow people by keyword search. You just enable this and you can input a certain keyword here. You also have follow friends of target accounts. You can enable this and you will have here an example of what you should type in this text box, and then you just add the accounts and it will be added on this list below. Then you have follow friends of existing friends. If you click this, it will choose a random account from the results list and it will follow that account. Next, follow source is follow specific users. If you enable this or choose this option, you can add a valid username per line, and then you just add the username and it will appear in this list. Finally, if you want to follow users via geolocation, you can just enable this option and then indicate the location. There are two ways to indicate the location. First is via drop-down menu. You can just choose the location, tick the box, and it will be added on the list. And you can also add a valid location URL, and then you just add locations and it will be added here. Now let's move on to selection rank. So what is selection rank? It is just a way of telling Mass Planner which follow source to prioritize. For example, if I want Mass Planner to use follow people by keyword search 50% of the time, I can just indicate here the number 5. If I want to follow friends of target accounts to be, let's say, 30% of the time, you can just indicate number 3, then just indicate 1 and 1 for the other 2 follow sources. So that is how selection rank works. Now that we're done setting up the tool, you just go back to the Settings sub-tab and click on Start Auto Follow and it will start the tool. The results will be displayed in the Results sub-tab. As mentioned earlier, the Follow tool for Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, and Instagram have almost the same settings. It just differs in the follow sources, but basically the concept are the same. That's all folks. Until the next tutorial. Bye bye!